I believe that Ghana is a true story of Africa. I mean, it's quite unfortunate that people may say, oh, well, if you go to Niger or you go to Burkina Faso, they are cool here and so on and so forth. But
Yes.
Ghana has been a democracy for over 30 years.
Wow.
I think it is for us to tell our own stories. It's time for Africa to tell African stories. Now, when I look at me as an individual, and I remember that just a few years back, sometimes I need to go to the garbage before I can get food to eat. And sometimes I walk on the street to beg people for money.
Wow.
So that I can go to school. Now, when I look at that picture and I look at me now as a lawyer and a legislator, I mean, basically it's what the Christian would say, what God cannot do does not exist, right? Like everything is possible.
You're right.
Africa can rise. Africa can change. And we have the power to transform and to change Africa.
Welcome back to the Diaspora Dad podcast, where we explore identity, culture, leadership, and legacy across the African diaspora. Today's guest is a human rights lawyer, activist, and member of parliament in the Republic of Ghana. We'll be talking about his personal journey, Ghana's global role, leadership, and the African diaspora. Honorable Sosu, welcome to Diaspora Dad.
Thank you. It's amazing being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. So someone meeting you for the first time, tell us about yourself.
Well, I, it's always a challenge when I have to talk about myself because I often am challenged, especially not knowing where to begin from, right? Okay, so currently I am a member of parliament.
Yes.
For the good people of Medina in Greater Accra region of the Republic of Ghana. I'm a second-term member of parliament. I serve on the Ghana Revenue Authority Board. Also nominated by the Attorney General of Ghana to the General Legal Council that supervises legal education. I haven't done quite a bit of studies. My latest studies is in regional integration laws, where I just finished my PhD. But it's been an amazing journey from where I am to where I currently serve. Back in the Parliament of Ghana, I used to serve on the Judiciary Committee. I was a ranking member for the Private Members Bill Committee.
Oh, wow.
A member of the Human Rights Committee. A deputy ranking member for the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. Currently, I serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee and also serve as the ranking member for the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. Now, on the Global Parliamentary Union, I serve as the chairman for the ECOWAS caucus of the African Parliamentary Union. So, it's a lot of...
Wow, that is wonderful. Very, very wonderful.
Well, we just try because it's all about, do we say thinking local and making global impact? That kind of thing, yeah.
Oh, that's well said. Speaking of ECOWAS and Africa, why is Ghana historically and politically important to Africa?
I think Ghana is historically and politically important because, I'll give three scenarios. First of all, when you look at the traditional empires of Africa, if you take the Mali Empire, you take the Songhai Empire, and then you can take the Ghana Empire as well. And so Ghana, as a Gold Coast, has always played a lead role when it comes to the African liberation. And so it's always been not a very big country. Now we are about 34 million people. I mean, that you can't compare that to Nigeria in terms of population, but it's always been very strategic. if you look at the role that Kwame Nkrumah played in the independence struggle, not only for Ghana but Africa, Nkrumah once said that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it leads to the liberation of the entire African continent.
Wonderful.
And so Ghana has always played a lead role. As we speak now, the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has been playing so much leading role to get back what we call the Sahelian regions, which have broken away basically from the ECOWAS sub-region. My PhD is on regional integration.
Yes.
I believe that Africa needs to come together. I believe that we can looking at the geopolitics of the world today, we are better together. I don't believe in the divisions that we see on the continent. And I believe if we can have one common market, we can have one common customs union, we can have a common economic union, I believe Africa will do better. Unfortunately, it's not what it is, but currently I think that Ghana is playing a lead role to bring everyone together. And for me, that's what makes Ghana very, very critical and crucial when it comes to the geopolitics of ECOWAS, Africa, and the global politics. Yeah.
Oh, that's very wonderful. Now, speaking of global politics, why does Ghana have such a strong relationship with the West, especially with the United States?
I think Ghana has always been very strategic. Ghana and the US have a very, very tight connection. For example, I don't know whether you remember Getmo 2, when some Guantanamo Bay prisoners were supposed to be extradited or something. It was Ghana that gave them a home where they live. Not only that, I think Ghana has a very, very important cooperation. I would say, I don't want to say military cooperation, but for want of better words, Ghana has actually cooperated very well with the United States. You recall the famous visit of Obama to Ghana, and his address to the Parliament of Ghana. And so Ghana has consistently maintained a very good bilateral relationship with the US. And recently we've cooperated on several matters, including fighting what we call the cybercrime, and so on and so forth. People who were alleged to have duped people of American descent from Ghana. We have corporations that led to arrests of people like that. And so I think Ghana has maintained a very good relationship with the United States. In recent time, in the wake of all these bans and visa suspensions by His Excellency Donald Trump, I think Ghana has had some, fair dealings with the United States, and we are proud of that. I think our foreign minister, Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa, who I serve with as a member of parliament, has done quite some great job. Honorable His Excellency Victor Smith, who is Ghana's ambassador to the US, has also been doing quite a great job in terms of what we now call the economic diplomacy and trying to see how Ghana is placed on the globe. And I think so far, so good. I hope that we continue in that direction. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right. So you mentioned a few things. Now, initiatives such as the Year of the Return and beyond the Year of the Return. Why are those things important for people, especially in the diaspora?
I think they are so important because migration is a matter of, I always say it's a matter of course. Those of us who are Christians and who believe in the Bible, you would see when God asked Abraham to move, and he says, just go, and as far as you can see, I'm going to give to you. Wherever your foot will tread, I'm going to give to you. So it means that whether we like it or not, people will always move.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, you may be born in Ghana, you probably may, God forbid, but you probably may die in US or in UK. I mean, that is a fact of life.
Mhm.
And so people who move around, they move for several reasons. Some for education,
Yes.
some for economic reasons, and nobody leaves their home countries with an intention never to return. And so it's always important that we have what we call the pull factors.
Yes.
Set up situations around that attracts people back home. And so, for example, in Ghana, we've been working on dual citizenship laws, where if you are an American, you can come back to Ghana and take up citizenship, and you can own properties, you can do things in Ghana. In fact, you can actually run for offices in Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Irrespective of the fact that you probably were first an American before coming to Ghana.
Yes.
And the essence of the year of return, beyond the year of return, 30 December, and all these things are to just attract people in the diaspora so they can come back home. I mean, Ghana is an investment destination. It's a tourist destination. I mean, you would always love it. You just come to Ghana. We have this we call it the Ghanaian hospitality.
Yes.
That everyone that comes to Ghana never regrets, coming to Ghana. And for me, that is what makes it unique. And all these programs are meant to tell people in the West and in the diaspora that, look, you can always come home, and there's always place for you at home. Yeah, don't hesitate. If you are living the US or you are living UK and you want to come to Ghana, don't hesitate. Just come.
That's wonderful.
You have a home.
That is wonderful. And that ties into my next question. What does Ghana represent today for Africans in the diaspora?
I think Ghana represents the true picture of Africa. Anytime the story of Africa is being told, people have all kinds of negative stories to share. That Africa is not stable. We don't have stable democracies. We don't have stable economies, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to Ghana today, I mean, the Ghana cedi is doing so well against the dollar. I mean, in the last 1 year, we have actually reduced our external debt. So in other words, Ghana is not taking more debt.
Wonderful.
If you come to Ghana today, prices of petroleum are all under control. Under the big push agenda of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a lot of major road infrastructure is being done now. A lot of reforms are happening, from education to health. And so I believe that Ghana is a true story of Africa. I mean, it's quite unfortunate that people may say, oh, well, if you go to Niger or you go to Burkina Faso, they are cool here and so on and so forth. But
yes,
Ghana has been a democracy for over 30 years.
Wow.
And so I think it is for us to tell our own stories. It's time for Africa to tell African stories. When you leave the story to others, they choose to tell what they want or what pleases them, right? And I think that Ghana is a true reflection of the African people, how peaceful we are, the fact that we can be very democratic. I mean, it's okay that there are challenges in some parts of Africa, but those challenges do not represent the entire story of Africa. Yeah, and I believe that Ghana actually is a true story in fact, it's a case study that everybody will have to study.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because we've had very, very turbulent political times, but we've gone through it. I mean, it's always been, it's been safe, and we've had peaceful transfer of power under the fourth, the fourth Republican Constitution, and it's still ongoing.
That's wonderful. Very, very wonderful. You mentioned challenges in Africa. In Ghana specifically, what do you think are the biggest challenges?
Honestly, one of the biggest challenges I see in Ghana, which probably reflects in Africa, is what I call the misguided generation.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that we have a lot of young people who are completely misguided. They are misguided because they have what I call false sense of entitlement.
Mm.
Um, young people believe everyone owes them something, and yet they don't owe themselves anything.
Mm.
And that's a problem.
Yes.
That is a problem of the Gen Zs actually right now, because I recall, I mean, people come to me and say, Honorable, can you find us in fact, can you imagine like someone comes to me and say, Honorable, I brought you the CV of my son. Can you find my son a job?
Mm.
And I'm like, so where is your son? He's home doing TikTok. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Because I don't ever recall actually going around looking for jobs before. Because I've always believed that, look, in fact, if there are no opportunities, create some for yourself.
Yes.
From basic school to senior high school, where I used to live many times on the streets. I recall that after the senior high school, I used to move from house to house.
Wow.
Just to go and teach people.
Yes.
So at the end of the month, you can everyone pays you something and you're fine. And this continued until I became a lawyer and having my own law firms and so on and so forth. Now, so the point is that the world owes you nothing. You owe everything to yourself.
Right.
And the world is too busy that nobody pays attention to average people now. You need to do something extraordinary. And no one is going to care. Nobody's going to care about you, right? And so I think the biggest challenge I see is a generation of misguided people.
Wow.
And I think that somehow we all owe it to this generation to re-guide them. Otherwise, I don't know.
Wow.
The young generation is completely misguided.
I see. Very, very interesting. Okay. Now let's shift a little bit to the diaspora. What are the biggest misconceptions that people here in the United States have about Ghana?
I think the misconception many people in the US have about Ghana is the fact that many people think we are lazy, but we are not.
Mm-hmm.
Many people think we are not smart, but we are.
Yes.
I mean, with all due respect to, Donald Trump, I remember his shithole statement, right?
Yes. Yes.
But we are not. I mean, in Africa, in Ghana, we are very, very smart people. Except that, if you do not sell your values, right, people undervalue you. I believe that the fact that many people in the diaspora think that we always come cap in hand, begging for favors and opportunities. So they see you as a second-class citizen, or maybe somebody without any value to add. But I recall there are many times I have taught many schools here in the US.
Yes.
I've been to Oakdale, Harding Academy, been to University of South, been to Center College in Kentucky.
Yes.
And most of these places I go to share values.
I see.
I go to share experiences that ordinarily you will not find here. That reminds me when Oprah Winfrey once said, for a black little girl walking barefooted on the streets of Mississippi, America got to hear my story, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
I mean, we've survived things that are of extreme value to even this generation right here in the US, but many times people undervalue who we are because maybe they just think that we're second-class citizens, but we are not. I mean, we can challenge everyone.
Mm-hmm.
is it academia or what? I mean, if it's academic, we are there.
Yes.
Law, we are there.
Yes.
See,
Plenty.
plenty. So it's quite unfortunate that people of diaspora, either birth or experience, sometimes look back and they think that, well, these guys are just lazy people. They don't want to help themselves. But trust me, people are really willing to help themselves and they are doing really great. Many people in Africa, what they need is openings. All they need is you to open the doors to them. They don't need more than just opening the doors to them. Yeah, there are people who could be lazy, who are, oh, just give me. There are others who are also looking for opportunities, that can transform lives and change lives and impact lives. So it's important that people of diaspora origin, appreciate this fact about Africans.
Wonderful. Yes. Very well said. Very well said. So, Honorable, what gives you the most hope right now?
I think the biggest hope is that it is not over until it is over. I mean, that is Matthew Ashimolo once said that it's not over until it's over. Somehow, I believe that Africa will still make it. I believe that there is hope for our generation, irrespective of what we've experienced, irrespective of our past. I believe there's so much that lies ahead. Now, when I look at me as an individual, and I remember that just a few years back, sometimes I need to go to the garbage before I can get food to eat. And sometimes I walk on the street to beg people for money.
Wow.
So that I can go to school. Now, when I look at that picture and I look at me now as a lawyer and a legislator, I mean, basically it's what the Christian would say, what God cannot do does not exist, right? Like everything is possible.
You're right.
Africa can rise. Africa can change. And we have the power to transform and to change Africa. We are co-creators with God. We can create and we can redesign Africa. And so when I look back and look now, it gives me that assurance that we still can make it.
Wow. Very powerful. Are there things that maybe concern you about Africa?
A lot. I mean, when you look on the continent now, I was in Congo, Brazzaville recently. I saw the numbers and saw people, the unemployment level, crime levels, and that worries me a lot. In fact, the health system completely broken down. And these things worry me because I believe that if we can take care of the unemployment situation, we can take care of health, and we can upgrade education in Africa, we can transform the continent. And these three things are what worries me a lot when I think about Africa. The fact that as we speak now, we still have serious challenges with our health institutions. We have serious challenges with educational institutions, and then we have a lot of unemployment challenges.
I see.
I mean, unemployment, even in America here, we still have issue of unemployment. Like it's way, it's really bad when it comes to Africa, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, I believe that we should be able to promote entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
So many more people, instead of them waiting to be looking for jobs, they can now become employers and they can create jobs and employ other people. Unfortunately, what we have is a situation where everybody's looking for a job. That does not exist. And I believe that if we can change that story, we should be able to create new job opportunities for people.
Fantastic. Very well said. All right. Honorable, this is a little bit of a lighthearted question. And you might have heard this saying before, but I'm going to ask you, Ghana jollof rice or Nigerian jollof rice?
Well, I love Nigeria so much.
Yes.
And Nigeria is my number one when it comes to the continent of Africa.
Yes.
But when it comes to the jollof rice,
Yes.
Ghana will always beat Nigeria. It's always Ghana jollof. I recall, so I was in Nigerian Parliament.
Yes.
So in the 8th Parliament of Ghana, I introduced private members' bills
Yes.
to abolish the death penalty, which is the capital penalty in Ghana.
Wow.
And so British High Commission and the Death Penalty Project of UK work with me so we can go to the Nigerian Parliament. So I was in Nigerian Parliament meeting with the House of, I think I met with senators and met with their Human Rights Committee.
Yes.
And I think we had a great session. The only point of disagreement was Nigerian and Ghana jollof rice. Otherwise, every other thing was okay. The only point of disagreement was Ghana jollof, Nigerian jollof.
Okay. Tell the world, especially us in diaspora, what makes Ghana jollof rice special?
Well, I love to cook. Ghana jollof rice is special because one, the type of rice that we use to cook our jollof rice
Yes.
is always long grain rice.
Mm.
Then our jollof rice is often spicier,
Yes.
and our jollof rice is often how will I even describe it? It is not very starchy.
Okay.
I mean, it's
The way you do it,
right.
I'm getting hungry now.
I'm not really. Our jollof rice is
Yes.
special. So I love to cook a lot, and I love to cook jollof a lot. And my kids love it when I do jollof.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But when I do beef jollof or anything, they just love it. And yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So here we are in the United States. As you're aware,
Mhm.
the World Cup is coming in a few months.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yes. And Ghana has qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So how far realistically do you think Ghana can go in the World Cup?
Well, I'm hoping that we will make it to the finals. Well, I mean, it's better to hope for something, right? Yes. Keeping the hope alive. Well, the Bible says hope doesn't disappoint, right?
That's correct.
So we hope that we can make it to the finals. I think Ghana has always been slow starters, but have always put up impressive performances. I won't be surprised that we actually can make it to the quarterfinal and maybe possibly to even the finals.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, we should be able to do that.
Yes.
There is every reason why we should do well this time.
Okay.
Mhm.
So do you agree that if someone were to ask which African country will be the first to win the World Cup, it'll be Ghana?
Yeah, well, it should be Ghana. It definitely should be Ghana.
Well, I'm going to be rooting for Ghana.
I
so.
know, right? I'm really hoping that we'll do well. Thankfully, we have a good regime. The country is doing quite well now, and so there should be enough motivation for those players to make us proud.
That's wonderful.
Now, I wish I'm playing.
Yes.
I love to play too.
Oh,
I play soccer too.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Like forward or defense?
I'm often forward. I do like 9.
Mhm.
I play 9.
Oh,
often.
okay. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. One more, easygoing question. Afrobeats or high life?
I think I am very musically inclined.
Yes.
And so I would always both high life,
Yes.
Afro beats,
Yes.
cool numbers.
Yes.
I'm there for every one of them. I mean, one of my very favorites is wise men say only fools rushing, but I can't stop falling in love with you.
Wow, honorable. See, you have so many different talents. Wow. Well, you've seen it on this podcast.
I know, right? Right on this podcast.
Wow.
I believe I can fly.
Wow.
I believe I can touch the sky.
That's amazing. You see? I remember when Bill Clinton played the saxophone,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I do.
And here you are, you know, I remember part of it, you have this
I know.
arts, talents, and everything.
Well, I love it. Actually, I actually have an album, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I think that was the, I've done a couple of singles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's very, very wonderful. Wow. All right. Honorable. Now, I want to ask you some questions. I know off camera we spoke a little bit about your upbringing, your childhood.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something about being, quote unquote, an orphan on the street. Take us back to that time. Tell us about that part of your life.
So, I was born to a family that wasn't very wealthy. My mother was a victim of ritual slavery, something we call trocosi. You know, when virgin girls are given to the shrine.
Wow.
To pay for the sins of their forefathers.
See.
Yeah. And so she was there until she left the Trokoshi shrine and got involved with my dad, and both of them got married. My dad he's never been to school. She has not been to school before. And our firstborn was blind. She was not born blind. She only had measles, but my parents didn't understand the medical condition and she became blind. Our second-born dropped out of school and I was a third.
Wow.
And so to survive, I had to live on the street for several years. And I used to be on the street selling everything sellable on the street until a Church of Christ orphanage came and adopted me into the orphanage. And so I lived in the orphanage for 10 years, where I was able to go to high school, then to the university. It was at the orphanage that I met Don Barnett. Don Barnett was an elder of a Church of Christ in Oklahoma. And so he paid my way through law school. Originally, he wanted me to come to law school here in the US, in Pepperdine Law School.
Yes.
But that didn't work out. So I went to Ghana School of Law.
Yes.
Where I managed to, after 4 years, become a lawyer. And so my original degree was in sociology and archaeology. And so I did a law, which is a second degree. Then later did an LLM, which is a Master of Law in Oil and Gas Law. And then also did an MA, which is Master of Arts in Economic Policy Management. And did an MPhil in Human Rights, Peace and Conflict Studies, and until recently finished with a PhD in law. And so it's been a journey of despair and hope. But I see my story as a story of grace, where God just picking somebody from nowhere and bringing him somewhere. And that is why I dedicate most of my time reaching out to others, because the best way to say thank you to those who took me from the street is to go back and help others from the street and to help others transform other lives as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Very wonderful. Now, on those streets, how was survival? Tell us about that. So, what did you do to survive?
Honestly, I can say on authority that it was really crazy. Yeah, it was, because I remember that usually one of the survival mechanisms when it's raining, people run. And when they run, they drop their coins, like their pennies and quarters and everything.
Yes.
So as soon as the rain stops, you see us in the gutters looking for the pennies and the quarters. That's how we gather money sometimes. There are times that over the weekend, we go to the marketplace to sell like kerosene,
Yes.
like ethanol and other things for people,
Yes.
so we can make some money. And I recall that there are many times when I am very hungry and I don't have food to eat, we can even go into the garbages and look for what people have, either the leftovers that people have thrown away. And there were times that I would jump over the walls of people so I can pluck mangoes or oranges.
Wow.
So I can survive.
Wow.
And in the night, I used to sleep in front of kiosks. Some nights you need to we have like one daycare center that you need to pay money so you can get access.
Yes.
If you don't have money, then you have to sleep in front of the kiosk
Wow.
or in front of the shops. Yeah. And so when it rains, it beats you and you wake up wet.
Wow.
And I was living in all those conditions, yes.
Wow. Incredible. Very incredible. So with all this hardship, if I were to characterize it as that, did that push you to law? Did it shape you? Your thoughts of, oh, this is what I want, the direction I want to go into?
I think it did, partially because on the streets, I saw a lot of injustice in terms of unlawful fights, people taking advantage of the weak and the vulnerable. And so I naturally had this sense of fighting against injustice. And so I really was asking myself, what do I do to fight against injustice? And I saw that doing law was going to be one of those ways. And I'm not surprised that, becoming a lawyer and the last 15 years of my practice, I've been actively fighting and advocating for, the vulnerable in the Ghanaian society. Yes.
Wonderful. So these people that you're fighting for, do you sometimes see your younger self in them?
Absolutely. In fact, I always say that. In fact, recently, one of the laws I was championing in Ghana was the decriminalizing petty offenses. Because I was telling the media in Ghana that if I were ever caught jumping over people's wall, I could have gone to prison. Because that would be what we call the unlawful entry.
Right.
And you can go to prison for 3 years.
Wow.
But these are what we call poverty crimes.
Yes.
So why would somebody be sent to prison for 3 years only because he was trying to pluck mangoes to eat?
Oh.
Right. So now it kind of informs my passion to work on decriminalizing these petty offenses so that we can create a more just and a fair society.
That's very well said. Your background is very, very unique. You know, I've spoken to so many, not just on this platform, but I've spoken to so many different people, being a hybrid person, Nigerian descent and raised here and all that. But it just strikes me when I first met you for the shoot, how you were just that humbleness. I'm telling you, it's a rarity in this world, particularly people in your position, but I would have never known you had gone through that type of upbringing.
Yeah. It's quite amazing. Sometimes when we're in Ghana and I go to some programs, TV, and they are talking about me, I'm like, is it me you're talking about? Is that me that you're talking about? He's this, he's that. I'm like,
that is incredible.
Oh, the Lord God has been faithful.
Wow. That's amen to that. Amen.
No, he's been very faithful. God has done. Sometimes I wonder how he did it, but I know that he's just been amazing.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. God has been very, very, very faithful. And I'm so grateful to him.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we have many people of African descent that have children here.
Okay.
Okay. What advice would you give some of them that had a similar upbringing like you when it comes to raising their children in the Western world?
Always remember that you have an identity. You are an African, proud African. Be who you are. Love yourself. Believe you. If nobody believes, just believe yourself. And you can rise to the occasion. Don't need to pick anybody else's identity. So if you can trust who you are, believe who you are, and you can rise based on who you are, trust me, you can really do great and mighty things. The problem is that many people just lose their identity. They want to be who they are not. Live your life. Believe you. Believe in your own identity, and you will rise.
Wonderful. Wonderfully said. How does a young rising star like you stay grounded?
You just have to stay within the laws of power. Don't outshine your master. Be sure that you are within the spaces. You don't cause problem here and there. I know I can be a handful. So for the avoidance of that, yes, now I'm very quiet. I don't want any trouble. Stay away from trouble. You are fine. So long as you are not crisscrossing anybody, you are fine. Okay. And just keeping my constituency back in Medina, I have a number of projects that are ongoing, which are just community level led programs. I have what I call the Medina Job Center, connecting young people to jobs.
Yes.
I have the Medina Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
That is growing individual businesses. I have the Islam project. I have the Christian project. I have education scheme.
Yes.
Where biannually we do the Best Teacher Award, where this year we actually giving out a 2-bedroom house.
Oh wow.
To the overall best teacher.
Wow.
And a number of things that we do as an intervention that we do. And so I just want to keep my community and grow the community.
Yes.
Until such a time that the Lord will say that, Francis, you are ready for the world.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well said. Well said. I know people are watching this podcast, both in the United States, Canada, UK, back home in Ghana, Zimbabwe. And some of them are going to have this one question after listening to you. And that is, will Honorable Francis Sosu run for president of Ghana one day?
Well, I won't be surprised. All things are possible to them that believe.
Yes.
And then also, like Obama once said, politics is about being at the right side of history.
Yes. Time,
chance, history, everything must align together. And most importantly, it must fall in line with God's purpose.
Yes.
I don't think that I cannot be I believe I can be a good president.
Yes.
I believe the Lord has taken me through a lot that can make me provide compassionate leadership to my people and transformative leadership to my people. And so, yes, if it is in God's plan, I will happily embrace it. What I do now is take one day at a time, grow my constituency, because I believe that leadership must be about impact, not just a position.
Yes.
And so if we can transform one life at a time, then we will change our world. And for me, it is more about that. It's not about the position at all. And I'm glad that I'm serving now as a member of parliament. And for all the rules that I have now in Ghana, I'm so grateful and thankful to God that there are a number of people I can point to that I'll be proud that by my intervention, their lives changed. And for me, that is more important. And so whatever the Lord desires for me in the future, I believe that that would happen. I mean, if you see what Bobby Wine is doing in Uganda, so it's all possible. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Honorable, thank you so much for this powerful conversation.
Amazing conversation. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. To everyone listening, if this episode moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Diaspora Dad podcast. Your support helps us amplify stories that matter across the diaspora. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Until next time, stay purposeful, stay connected, and keep building legacy. I'm Chigo, your host. Thank you once again.
You're welcome. There we go.